Here. Thank you. Thank you for the presence of everyone. So Q&A. Thomas, how are we going to do? We have the chat. People can shoot out questions and they
Yeah.
also can open their mic.
So
And
for everybody that's new to a Q&A, the last few times we did it, we felt that it worked pretty well. So this is a session to really focus on the project itself, which is Corsair, the companies, the factories, the plastic credits, the market, the regulation, but not the how we do this business, not the how to get customers and how to become a leader and how to earn commissions. Okay, we are here for the what project. So that said, the best way to do is, especially if you have multiple questions, please write them in the chat because we can often answer several questions at the same time by explaining the facts or the story or sharing some slides. So what I'd love everybody to do right now is write down your questions in the chat. And I'm myself going to go and pull a few questions that my team has asked me to answer and that they cannot be live. And while everybody's putting the answers there, we can get started answering these ones. Wonderful. So again, please use the chat to put your questions. And if it's not clear, of course, we're going to have you open your mic. The idea here is that it's the space to find the answers that you or your teams need so that we can bring more confidence and more clarity in our business. So let's start with this number one here that was coming from my group. How do I respond to this is greenwashing? I love this one.
so,
You want to go for it?
yeah, me, I have a first part and I know you're going to bring another part because I know which one you love in this in this question. So for me, anti-greenwashing, but maybe this will come as a complement to what you will say. It's like, I would love people to understand that for sure, saying like, I offset my footprint. Okay, so maybe at the beginning, because the plastic credit is low in cost, some companies might use it not to change their way of selling their products. But once the regulation kicks in and the price rises, finally the purpose of that tool really come into place. So that's one of the part of the what's one part for me of the answer why, like how to respond that this is greenwashing. Because if somebody comes with the objection and telling you, yeah, but then I pay to have the right to pollute, you can say, yes, it's possible that some people use it at first, but look at what happened with carbon credit. That's what maybe some people, some companies did at the beginning. And now when you see how much the price rose and how high it costs, companies can't use it anymore this way. They really have to change their way of transport, consumption, everything. Okay, so that's my part of the answer. And Thomas, go for the second part, or the first one, actually.
So we have to understand what is greenwashing. I did some research. Greenwashing means that a company claims that they are doing so much for the environment, and in reality, they do much less. This is what greenwashing is. With the system that has been put in place here, with the plastic credit and the plastic neutrality on the blockchain, companies that are our clients, they claim that they cleaned up this much plastic and they can prove they have cleaned up exactly this much plastic, and everybody can see that on the blockchain. So this mechanism is actually anti-greenwashing because in this system that we have with Corsair, you cannot claim more than you actually did because everyone can check it thanks to the blockchain. That is why we are using the blockchain for transparency and traceability purposes. So I love this question because I always explain that and then people say, ah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. If you have any other sub-questions coming from this intervention, please put it in the chat. If there is no reaction on this, we'll keep going. So me, I answer it's anti-greenwashing because we can claim exactly what we did and we can prove it for everybody to see. And on the blockchain, nothing can be fake. Nothing can be copy-paste, nothing can be hidden. And that's the beauty of it.
Thomas, as part of this question as well, but not directly, is that sometimes you can hear say, why do we help companies like Shell and others who pollute and everything to be part of what they call greenwashing, or helping them publicly to say they can do this or that? And my answer is, you can find out whatever answer you want, is I really don't care what their motive is for buying our pyrolysis oil, whether it's because they have to do it legally, whether they believe in it or not. Does it really matter? The most important thing is that for every liter of pyrolysis oil they buy from us, they don't have to take a liter of oil out of the earth. So it's good for the environment. So whatever their motives are, let them do it, let them get on with it.
Right. I do answer the same.
All right, let's go, guys. Next.
And
What is
Lumina, I'm sure I got it from you, Lumina. Thank you.
Next, I see, what is the purpose of having different CSR types each year? And how are they going to all work together? I think that's an important question that we get asked often. So I'd like to share my perspective on it. And Lumina, if you want to add something, please feel free to do so. So the story goes, they created the first plastic credit, and it covered the 2020 to 2024 of orders. And now the company moved to creating an annual version, 25, 26, 27. There are multiple reasons why this makes sense. The first one, let me mute the people who are not mute. The first one is that it allows flexibility, meaning, like we saw end of 2024, when in the Philippines, companies could use plastic credits to be compliant with the regulation, but the Philippines added that these plastics must come from the Philippines. So basically, the market showed us a new information that maybe countries will demand that the plastic credit is for plastics in a specific country. So Corsair could upgrade their plastic credit, which the CSR 25 now allows the traceability for the place and the time of the recycling. So if regulations continue to evolve, because Corsair makes a new version every year, they will be able to upgrade their product again. That's the first reason. It allows flexibility. The second reason is for limiting inflation. If we would have only one plastic credit and that we just keep using it for 10 years, for 15 years, we will keep making more and more of the same, which is the definition of inflation. It will reduce its value. The fact that we boxed it for a certain amount of time limits the number of plastic credit for this edition, which means that instead of inflation, we have deflation, because the number of each version being limited then goes down the more companies use it and the more Corsair does the buyback. So it also triggers micro deflation for each version, which there are ways around it, but that is a direct effect and benefit to us for this.
And I would just like, thank you, Thomas, for your answer. I would just like to stress also why every year. You remember, we always do the parallel with carbon credits. Actually, companies have, as much as countries, they have to annually report. Okay, annually they are audited to the quantity of waste they put in the environment. So if you don't have an annual equivalent, then you can't like really track and make the balance with it. So to have an annually CSR, it also supports the regulation. That's what you said at the beginning, Thomas. Like it also supports the way the regulation goes and the framework goes.
Great. So to recap, number one, flexibility to upgrade the product. Number two, limit the availability of each version to avoid inflation. For me, the best parallel is wine. Because I'm French. No, not because I'm French, because it is correct. Because wine has one bottle of wine for each year. Yes, it's 75 centiliters, but they're all different every year. And there's only a certain an amount. So the plastic credits from Corsair, it's like wine. You have different versions. They are all equal to one bottle of wine. They are all equal to 100 grams of plastic, but they are different. Okay. Hope that helps, guys. Let us know in the chat if that helps. Let's keep going. How is Corsair catching up on the orders? I love this question. The question that is behind it is, what if there's too many people ordering for the capacity that Corsair has? It's a fair concern. How do we answer that, Lumina? You're on mute.
Sorry, I was mute. So how does Corsair catch up? First of all, Corsair decided to take time before they provide you with the proof, so it gives them time to work by themselves. You remember, once you buy a package, like after 10 months, you're gonna like 15 days, 5%, 10 months, 45%, and 10 months more, and then you get the 50% left. So it gives also time for Corsair to do the work. But if Corsair can't complete, if there is really too much people who really pay for recycling, much more than the capacity from Corsair, there is this partner, like contributor program, sorry. And the contributor program is what? Is actually other recyclers that do recycle plastic, that do upcycle, mechanically recycle, or chemically recycle. So we are sure that it doesn't end up in landfills. We are sure that it's not incinerated. They can pretend to use the CSR process to give validity to their right to emit CSR. What it means that Corsair can buy from them the possibility to use the quantity of plastic they did recycle to create the CSR. Why company would do that? Because actually creating a CSR program, okay, making everything available on the blockchain, this requires tech developers, this requires also money for the companies to do that. It requires means, and not every company has the possibility. You are a small recycler, you just match both ends, you know, you don't have the time or the money to pay for a plastic credit system. So you can enter Corsair plastic credit system and give value to the recycling you did through that. And we do contribute then to all of that. Is it clear? Can I have one if it's clear for everyone?
Put the one in the chat if it's clear, and I'll
Thank
give
you.
a
Thank
shorter
you,
recap.
Antonietta. Antonietta, thank you so much, because I was looking at you and you're the one who answered. Thank you. Great.
So to give a shorter version of this answer that Lumina just explained, Corsair will always be able to catch up on the orders, because if they don't recycle themselves to make your CSR, their partner recycler will do. So you will always have it on time. The work will be done on time. And that's the network power. One more thing, Juicy likes to say, or I don't know if I invented that or if I heard it from Juicy, but he said the plastic credits from CSR, it will become like an Airbnb platform for all the plastic recyclers that don't already have a plastic credit. So the vision for the CSR plastic credit is bigger than Corsair. It's for many other companies to use this plastic credit and make sure that we become one of the biggest systems of plastic credits in the world. Okay, next question. What's the most important thing for partners to focus on the next 90 days? Xavier, I'm not going to take your question now. We want to focus on the project that is for the development of the business, but I'll take it at the end if there is no more questions on the project. Next one there. And that is coming from Taylor Holden. Can you choose to sell your CSR on the market? And how long does that process take? You want to answer, Lumina, or I do?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
see you open your mic.
Yeah, it's just to be ready in case. But yeah, I can answer. Actually, for sure, you can sell your CSR on the market. And how long does the process take? So first of all, you have to move your CSR But there are videos for that also, guys, huh? Everywhere. Like we created tutorials so you have access to all information. But in short, you have to move your CSR from CSR now to your MetaMask, and then from your MetaMask to the exchange. From CSR now to your MetaMask, that depends on the company. It takes a certain time before they treat your demand. Once it's on MetaMask, it goes very fast for you to send them to the platform, to the exchange, whether it is LBank or whether it is LA token. Once it's on one of these platforms, then you put a sell order. So it's like, it means that you just say to the platform, I have this much amount of CSR to sell to this price. And when somebody comes on the platform, on the market, and wants to buy CSR, that will automatically, if your price range is in the actual price range, that will automatically take your order in the buy order from the person. So how much time it takes, it mainly depends first on Corsair to deliver them, secondly on a buyer to come on the platform.
So the short answer is yes, you can choose to sell your CSR whenever you want. And how long does it take? It takes 5 seconds. If you put it, you click sell and then it will sell. That's the short answer. But I also want to take this moment to remind everyone that we want to see in the long term. And we want to see here for 3, 4, 5 years ahead before we consider selling, because then we see and we align with the vision of the company and the development of the market.
And there is one more information, Thomas, about
Go ahead.
that. Is that if you guys want to, okay, Thomas says it takes 3 seconds, but then it means that you are holding your CSR on the platform. Please don't hold your CSR on an exchange. Hold them in your own wallet or on CSR now, but not on an exchange, because the exchange doesn't depend on yourself, okay? We've seen that exchange are not reliable, or they are, but you don't know how much. Whereas your own MetaMask wallet is yours. As long as you didn't lose your 12 words and you have access to it, everything is safe, okay? So that's important also.
Fantastic. Then we have a question from Sonia. If our pyrolysis oil is used in the production of new plastics, are these plastics automatically, indefinitely recyclable?
Oh, that would be great that we would have a complete loop, guys. We are all waiting for that time. Okay, we have to remember where is sitting Corsair. If we look at, you know, on the Academy, we have a PDF, even a PowerPoint that is called Plastic Circularity. And you have to understand how works plastic. So Corsair is the recycler. What we do, we transform waste back into its original material, which is oil on a liquid form. With this oil we go and be blended as of today. This oil is blended with other oils that can come from, how we say that? Sorry, I'm losing my English, guys. That can come from taking oil from the ground, okay? You understood me, crude
Refinement.
oil. Yeah, from crude oil otherwise. So it means like this is blended. And from that moment when it's blended, then it's treated to be able to create the small white balls of plastic out of which one can create any kind of plastic. So from the very moment this oil comes out from Corsair, for now there is not a complete circularity loop made by all the actors. We are recyclers. Nonetheless, the quality that comes out from our machines is exactly the same as the quality that would come out of the ground, which means you can use it, you can create any kind of plastic, and then for sure the plastic that is created out of this oil can be recycled again.
Is it correct if I say a plastic bag goes into the Corsair machine, becomes oil, and when we sell it to Shell, if they make a new plastic bag, then yes, this one can be recyclable to infinity. But if we recycle the plastic bag, we make the oil, we sell to Shell, and this time they make a plastic bottle with this oil, then it's a different story. Is that correct?
Exactly. This is correct.
Except I don't think Shell makes the plastic bags. Shell sells it on to the producers of plastic bags.
Exactly. There is one more actor. Actually, Shell is contributing to create these little white balls of plastic I was talking about, which is like the first material out of which one can create any type of plastic. One can create PVC, one can create food grade plastic, one can create PET out of the same base of plastic, adding or not chemicals. That's why I'm going a bit out, but that's why I love to say us as a community, we have to start pushing the governments to authorize or non-authorize certain kind of plastic on the market. But this cannot depend on Corsair. Corsair is just a recycler. He's not the one who is transforming afterwards back into plastic, nor the one who is making plastic. So we as consumers, we have to push in the direction. So should be sold on the market only recyclable plastics. That's it. I'm
So
out.
the short answer, Sonia, is it depends what this oil will be used to create. If it's used to create the same plastics that Corsair can recycle, perfect. But if they create the plastic bottles or the PVC, then technically no, they don't become infinitely recyclable. Okay, let's move to the next one. Let's keep going, guys. It's good. Put the questions in the chat, please, to make sure you get your answer before that's done. Eva is asking, can you clarify the CSR purchase price and the market price on CoinCarp? Today it's 0.52 cents, and on Amplivo it's 59 cents. So which price is the Amplivo price? Thank you. That's a great question. It's quite simple. The CoinCarp is the market price, and the one in Amplivo Telegram channel is the Amplivo price. However, you forgot something very important to take into account. Amplivo always gives you a better price because you will wait for 10 and 20 months. What you didn't take into account here is the offer of the week, the bonus. This week, for example, there is 100% bonus, which means that it's not 59 cents, the actual price you pay for, but it's half of that because you get 2 times more. So Corsair and Amplivo always make sure that when you buy in advance with Amplivo, you have a better price. So you're just forgetting one information there. If you want to know the current price on Amplivo, you do the calculation like we saw in the training on session 4. You take your calculator and you look, how much do you want to buy? You want to buy €1,000. Okay, so then you go into your calculator, you write €1,000 divided by this week's price. That will give you how many kilo? And then you add the offer of the week. And the offer of the week here is times 2 because you have 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So don't forget to look at the price on Amplivo and include the bonus if there is any bonus. And you will see that the company will always make sure that what you purchase from Amplivo is below the market price. So now the next question is like from Jen, but how does the blockchain prove what happens in the physical world? People can lie about what they recycle. This is why we have external auditors. Like Control Union, for example, is auditing. So the purpose for Corsair is really to track the quantity. Everything is weighed. Every plastic that goes into a reactor has been weighed beforehand, and this is all tracked, and they have to be accountable. So when they're audited, numbers have to match. And we exactly know in chemistry how much liters come out of how much plastic recycled. So if they say we recycled this much, but they sold only that much liters, so something is wrong, then they say we recycled more than the end product. So you have numbers, and those have to be audited by a third party. So this is how you are sure that what is declared is real. Okay? This is how it backs up the numbers on the blockchain.
Yeah, and then we have to also remember that the ISCC Plus certification doesn't just verify the recycling process and the oil and the pollution of the machine, but also the traceability of the plastics that become the oil.
what we call the mass balance also. It goes on the mass balance. This is a full topic. So ISCC and Control Union, you have two things that are really pushing for to frame and be sure that people don't lie. Okay. Sonia. So every recycler will want to have their own plastic credit system, but Corsair is the best, so they can simply become partners with Corsair to leverage the CSR to validate their process as being traceable and transparent.
I can
Yeah,
answer that, Sonia, if you want, because earlier Lumina explained in more detail. What Lumina wanted to say is it's not easy to make your own plastic credit. So we offer to use our own plastic credit for all the other recyclers if they don't want to do their own. And many will not want to do their own. But if another company, like our competitors, they do their own plastic credit, then they're not going to enter into ours. Okay, so basically we want to absorb all of the recyclers that will not do their own plastic credit.
so Sonia, to understand this a bit more, you can check PCX Market, you can check Vera Markets, and those are actually over plastic credits. There is also a protocol, and a recycler can step into this market, but those are closed market, not open market like ours. Okay, and so it's the same process. A recycler can propose his activity, and then one who is polluting will buy off the rights from the recycler using that platform. Okay? It's always the same system, just there are many of them. It's the same with carbon credits, many of them available.
And then question from Xavier, how will Corsair stay ahead as the waste-to-energy market becomes more competitive? That's a good question. So my answer to this, and I look forward to know the answer of Lumina. My answer to this is it's a different market. It's not a competition. Waste-to-energy does electricity. We do raw material to make new plastics. So the outcome, what we do and what it's used for is completely different. But there can be competition for getting access to the plastic waste. My view of it is that what we do will always be much more profitable. However, we need to have access to the plastics. Waste to energy is, in my opinion, will be used for the trash that is very densely packed and that has been here on the landfill for 10 years and that is very hard to separate. Plus, we cannot recycle everything. So waste to energy has its own place. Diapers, dirty diapers, you can't recycle. It's many layers of everything inside of it and organic matter inside. So I believe that waste to energy will take care of a part of the mountains of trash that we cannot sort out, and that we will take care of the plastics that can be sorted out. Because one limitation of the Corsair technology is that what you put in needs to be clean. So Corsair takes a lot of time and energy to clean and prepare the plastics. Like you clean your clothes, we need to clean the trash to recycle it well. So it is not realistic to believe we will be able to do that for all the trash of the world. Lumina, would you say, and be aligned with what I said, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I would say the same, like where there is somehow competition is to access to the waste. But there are a few things you have to remember that, Xavier, is that nowadays, for example, Europe, I will take Europe as an example. There are already laws that are implemented and that countries don't match. In Europe, for example, you have to handle, like, there were numbers put by the European countries and the EU that you have to be able to deal with this much quantity of waste. Like you have to reduce landfills, you have to enhance recycling, you should come to this much percentage. Most of the countries, at least France is one of them, is very late on that. So as many countries are late on schedule to recycle, because actually governments start pushing towards circularity, they are paying fines. And actually putting in a landfill, for example, is not recycling. Okay, so that's one point. Now, for sure, there is a lot of money that has been put into waste to energy. So there is a real competition with the waste to energy market to access to the waste. Nonetheless, as Thomas said, this is much less profitable. And now that I start to understand that chemical recycling is much more profitable, we all know where the intention goes is where the money goes for this kind of people. So when they see they can make more profit out of that, it might take time because they've just spent a lot of money into waste to energy, at least in France, but it will switch very soon if it didn't switch already. Okay.
Thank you. Next question. Can we invest in the company? Yes, soon, but it will not be open for all countries. Invest in the company means you will buy shares of the company. That is Corsair Capital. The first leaders in the world have been trained. We are now signing our contracts, and very quickly we will be able to propose to our customers to become investors. Once that's available, it will be known in the network. So stay connected to the groups of your upline, your sponsors. You will know how to do it. It will not be open for Canada, America, and a few other countries at first. So if you're a citizen, not if you live somewhere else, if you're a citizen of America, of Canada, or North Korea, Russia, you will not be able to buy the shares for regulation purposes. Everyone else will be able to, and you will be explain the process once that is opened. So that should happen very, very soon.
Okay, and there was also from Jen, can it be moved from MetaMask? You know, I think she was talking already about the CSR. Yes, you can move them off MetaMask, away from MetaMask. You just need a wallet that supports the Ethereum blockchain. And you need to use the contract, the CSR contract, to be sure that they will appear in your wallet. That's the only thing. So regarding the buyback cost, I will buy from anyone who is selling on the platform. Yeah, I mean, to answer to you, Sonia, myself, I don't want to sell them now. Myself, I will bring them on the platform the latest as possible, I tell you. So yeah, you don't want to sell them now to the buyback, but maybe some people need sometimes, or some people mistrust. And there is this answer that Jay gave us, is like the weak hands gonna leave the market first. Means the hands that don't have the power to hold on time, through time, you know, and trust, they're the first ones that are gonna sell. And those will allow us who already, like with the buyback program, will allow Corsair then to get more and more CSR to at a cheaper price, simply.
Can I add something? Because I've been having a lot of discussions about this with new people. When the Corsair says we will buy back the CSR at any price when people want to sell, they're not gonna message you or email you, hey, we want to buy back your CSR. That's not how it works. We have a market that you know or you will discover soon on La Token and LBank. And what the company means by we will buy it back at any price, it means that when they have the money available from selling the oil, they will use it to buy at current market price, which will raise the price. And they will take the credits that were for sale. So nobody's going to contact you personally to ask if you want to sell. It's all done automatically on the exchange. So what you will see is simply that there are buy orders. Some people are buying, so the price is going up, and then if you want to sell, then it's going to make the price go down. It's quite simple, actually. Just wanted to clarify, yeah? You're not going to be contacted personally for Corsair to buy back from you. It's from the market. Once you will have sold your first plastic credits yourself, you will see how it works. It's quite simple. Wonderful. Jen.
No.
No? No what?
Jen, can we change our sponsor? Jen is asking. And I mean, this is not the way it goes in network marketing, unfortunately, you know. It would be like, because then, especially if you have been already bringing in people, it would be moving a whole tree. Elliot, yes, thank you. Give us the answer.
Well, the answer is no, but it's not an absolute no. We have seen in the last couple of years 2 changes of sponsor, but for extreme reasons. So, Jen, if you have really, really extreme reasons why it absolutely has to be, then you should get in touch with your upline or with me or write to support. Let's be really, really, really strong. Otherwise, if you're having trouble with your sponsor, go past them. Golden rule, they're the ones who got you here. Take advantage of what you've got and go past them in your upline and find someone in your upline you can tag onto. There's all this cross-line working together. There are the presentations, there are the trainings. Look at everything that's going on here. There's a community. Forget your sponsor. Be grateful to them because they're the ones who brought you here. And yes, they're going to earn money on what you're doing. Okay, so they're earning money. More important is how much money are you and your partners earning? And you'll be able to do that if you tag on to someone who will help you. Lumina?
Thank you, Elot. Yeah, I just wanted to add, in case there was a mistake at registration time, for example, it was not the right link before the person purchased, for sure you can move, okay? This is no problem. You ask to the support, and you, like, everyone involved gives a message to the support, giving the ticket number of the other persons involved. And like this, there is no problem. But once a package is bought and things are gone, I mean, as Elliot said, needs extreme reasons. Is it okay for you, Jen?
I just want to add one thing for everybody to understand, a nice metaphor. Your sponsor is like your ancestor. You are here today because of each of your ancestors. If then you're not happy with the relationship with one of your ancestors, like your dad or your mom, well, it's still thanks to them that you're here. So you shouldn't be changing sponsor, but you should be working with the grandparent and the one above. Somebody will really want your success because they will benefit from it. So see it like that. It's your ancestor. So you don't get to change because suddenly you don't like them anymore or because they post something you didn't like, except extreme reason. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Here we have Sonia asking, what do you respond to someone who says, we just have to stop the use of plastic?
Myself, I ask them, are you ready to renounce your computer, your phone, and everything? First question. I'm sorry, I'm a bit, you know me, I like sometimes to sting, but it's like, come on, guys. We all would love that. We would all love that there is no plastic, you know? But the reality is that it's not on the 5th of December that there will be no plastic. So what shall we do with all the plastic that is already here? That's what I say to people most of the time. When they ask me this question, I'm like, this requires 2 things. Us to be ready to renounce to so many things that we have, because plastic is a great invention. It is strong, flexible, transparent, and very light, and it can replace so many material that it allowed us to grow in so many ways. So number one, are we ready to renounce all of that? Secondly, it's like, even though we would stop producing plastic from tomorrow onward, and I always give the date, so 5th of December, we have tons of plastic present in the environment. Do we want to keep them here or do something out of them? Is it okay for you? Okay,
Very
thank you,
nice.
Sonia.
Anybody else has questions? Is the time. Put them in the chat or open your mic. Doing a good job, Lumina. You just hacked through 15 questions.
Yeah,
You have
great.
time, guys. This is the moment. If you don't have any more questions, then you are 100% confident. Questions are coming. You're not 100% confident yet. Kel or Gel, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. Is the L Bank wallet not as safe? So what
It's
we
an
would like to,
exchange.
yes, what
Does
we
it
would like to always explain for people who are new in crypto, there are 2 things. One is called a centralized exchange. One is called a non-custodial wallet. I know it's a bit complicated, but these are the 2 things. When we use shorter terms, we say exchange or wallet. An exchange means you don't have your asset. It's like a bank. The bank has your money. You don't have your money. If they cut your access, you cannot access anymore. An exchange is not a place to leave your plastic credit. It's a place to sell and to buy. And as soon as you sold or you bought, you take them out. Where? In your wallet. Your wallet is like MetaMask, Rabbi, Trust Wallet, I believe Exodus as well. I saw it in the chat. It means you have it. Nobody can cut the access from it. LBank is an exchange. So you don't want to leave anything there. If you want to sell, send it there, sell, and take out the USDT. Don't leave anything on an exchange, but you can leave on csrnow.com. csrnow.com is not an exchange, it's the company platform, so it is safe as your own wallet. So when I tell my customers, when they ask me where do I keep my plastic credit, I say you can leave them in CSRNow, it's safe, or you can take some of them out in your MetaMask, it's safe, or another wallet, but you don't put it in the exchange, waiting just in case when you're going to sell. Okay? So LBank, not safe.
Actually, what you want is them to be in your custody. And actually, MetaMask, all these kind of custodial wallets that are yours. So as simple as that. There is this question, Thomas, that is coming back. So Jen, if you find them and we didn't answer everything, if it's really important for you, Jen, I'm sure it will come back. And anyway, on Circle, we will be able to communicate again. So a few times, why would anyone want to buy CSR 26, 27, 28, except for helping this mission, with the mission? Oh, me, I have one more answer. Maybe Thomas, you will give. For me, there is more answer than except for helping the mission. There is the vision, guy, the vision of the plastic credit market. So it means like, if you look, what is the cost of a plastic credit today? Let's compare it to carbon credits. Carbon credits and plastic credit, both of them are emerging from, how we say, like, from a merde, comment on va dire, Thomas? I need your help. Du volontaire. C'est
Voluntary
volontaire.
market.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the English word. Like, they choose that, okay? If anybody else speak both language, please help me. So it's coming from a voluntary action. Somebody decide by themselves to start offset their plastic footprint and create that. So at the very beginning, same as carbon credits, only the ones who have the consciousness start doing it. And then the ones who see the interest for their customers, because they are then different from their competitors, they prove that they are more environmentally friendly, that they are more into a sustainable system. So for sure, people prefer to buy from a sustainable company than from a non-sustainable company. So slowly, there are more reasons that are adding up until you have all the regulations that push towards this direction. And when you have the regulation pushing towards this direction, the market fires up. So today we are like at the very beginning of carbon credits, when it was doing like this, but on such a small place, that today, if you look at the curve, it's doing like this, but at a much higher price. So today we are here. So not only because I want to help clean up the planet, I can step into that, but also because I am expecting this to happen. Is it clear for everyone?
And another piece of the answer here, CSR 26, 27, 28, these are the opportunity for new people to join. So if somebody is going to show up in 2027, they were not there before. So if they want to clean up the planet with Amplivo, they'll get the 2027. So it's also the opportunity of the moment. They will all harmonize in price. And that is part of the vision that Juicy has shared, and it's also common sense. Imagine we are in 2028, and now you are a company, and you need to offset 1 million kilograms because your company sold 1 million kilograms of plastic. And the company looks at what Corsair is doing And then they understand, oh, you have different plastic credits, but they are all 100 grams. So the company will use which one? The cheaper one. So let's say it's the 2026 that is cheaper. So the company will buy this one, the price will go up. Next company comes, they're going to want to buy the cheaper one. Maybe now it's the 25 that is cheaper. So they'll buy this one. So the markets, except the original CSR that will always be aside, the companies will always buy the cheaper plastic credit available. So the price should harmonize, except if one is really different. For example, in 2027, if there is a new regulations that a part of the world is requiring, and Corsair makes the CSR 27 more special, then the company will need to use the one they are allowed to use. But as a general rule, a company will always use the cheaper one first, which will increase its price. So that is the vision that I see for the future, that all equal plastic credits will harmonize in price. Does that make sense? Was that Jonathan? Does that make sense? I sent you also 2 videos that you might have not seen, explaining the plastic credit opportunity for the coming years to come, and the CSR 25, why it's so valuable specifically. And next year we'll make a video about why is the CSR 26 valuable. Might be the same reasons, might be different. Okay, next question. What do we have? Okay, Jen, if you still have questions unanswered, just contact your sponsor with the list. I saw in Circle a list of 15 or 16 questions that I answered actually, so maybe you want to go check there. If you put another batch of 15 questions somewhere that we didn't answer yet, just let me know where it is and I'll get you the answers. Okay, Shell Norgrand. Can you clarify why the original CSR is not in that equation? Yes, I can. For now, it is because the CSR 20, the original CSR is cheaper than the CSR 25 and CSR 26. But that's just a matter of time because the buyback will, in time, make sure that the original CSR will become much higher than all the other ones because that's the promise of the buyback. And the company will also ensure that those who are there at the beginning of the project also see the most benefits. So for now, it is in the equation. Right now, the original CSR is much cheaper, so absolutely, companies will use it first. But it's just a matter of time. The original CSR will always get more of the buyback, so it will go up. And when it's much more expensive than the other one, it will continue to grow. Companies won't use it. Jussi was saying it's like using gold to make a spoon and eat with it. Doesn't make sense to use the original CSR if it's so valuable in the future to offset your plastic footprint. So for now, it's in the equation, but at some point it will go too high and it won't be in the equation anymore. Okay, so that's for the question from Shell. And then Raymond. If all the CSR 26, 27, 28 harmonize in price, why not just one new CSR after CSR in CSR 25? Oh, you answered,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I answered by writing because we just addressed that topic before and we say that namely it needs to be reported yearly. So this is why we did that. Okay, Jen, if you remember your question, just shoot them out. We are here to answer, you know. This is why we make this session. So
can I just say I did ask, I was watching quite a few of the trainings and a lot of things came to mind and I wrote them down and I put them in Circle and I can't find them on my phone. And they were apparently they were answered, but no one's tagged me. And I spent half an hour this morning looking for them and I can't find them. So I've been trying frantically to like, where are these questions? Where are these? So I can ask them here. I just don't feel comfortable being pulled up for asking questions because I'm trying to do my due diligence so I can understand, so I can promote this amazing opportunity. But without fully understanding, I'm not able to. And without the support to be able to have my questions answered, which is why I put them in the group and why I wanted to bring them here. But I've been unable to find them, and I can't recall exactly what they were because they were quite detailed. So I just,
Yes,
yeah,
if
it's
we can't
it's
answer
quite
that,
frustrating for me because I've spent quite a lot of time going through and really,
What's your
being
name?
thorough.
What's your name
Jen,
what's your name in
Uh,
circle? I'll find you.
Sulis Hannah, and yeah, I had a look on the profile on my edit. Where's my post? What have I post? My sponsor said he'd answered them, but he just completely disappeared on me this morning. I said, "Where are they? I can't find them. You didn't tag me." I just couldn't find them at all. So I don't know what's
so
and
sorry that it makes you feel that you
it's
spent.
I mean so this is all new to me, and I don't Circle is new, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the app, and I just spent ages like looking, where is it? I looked at all the trainings, all the comment threads. I just couldn't find my questions anywhere, so I've just been
So is it okay that, I mean, anytime it shoots back, then please just tag Thomas and I on Circle when you write them, so we
yeah,
get a notification, okay?
I think I
And
did tag Thomas possibly. I thought I had. I
Please don't.
normally would. I
Le-
normally would do that.
we will find
Your,
a way
yeah,
to answer you.
let's not take more time here with everybody. Is your name
Sure.
Sulis Hannah on the circle?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll find you. No worries.
Yeah. I appreciate being able to ask questions as well. That's really great. Thank you.
Well, I did
Well,
spend time answering 15 questions in circle, so we better
I
find it.
don't think I asked 15, and it just feels like, why are you asking so many questions, which
No,
is
no,
the
it's no
second.
problem. There's no problem with that. What I was saying is
Okay.
I did answer, and then if
Well,
there's more, I'll
15 is
answer more.
quite,
Don't worry about it.
I should
you know,
ask as
Jen,
many questions as I need to understand without
Dear,
being.
dear Jen, how many questions do you think I answered from Thomas and Lumina in the last few years? And look at them today; they are fantastically capable
And did you count them,
of
Elliot? Did
answering
you
all your
count them
questions. I know,
and throw them back
more,
at people?
more than
That's not
15.
helpful.
Not comparable. It's good to ask questions. These guys are really
Thank
good.
you. Yes, I
You're in
agree
good,
with you.
you're in
I
good
agree.
hands.
Without them being counted or being surprised that someone's asking them. Thank you.
no, and this is good. This is good that you have the space for that. And one thing, we all are different, and we teach that. And Elliot teaches with this way, of seeing profiles, and we are all different, like the whale, the shark, the dolphin, the sea urchin, and each of us needs to feed that. So if for you it's important, then it's important, So how can you trust unless you go through your own way to be in trust? So the purpose for us is to be able to bring you the elements so you can take a wise decision and decide exactly where you stand and how you step into it. So that's the way. So we will find, I am sure. I am sure. No worries.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to feel supported.
With pleasure. Okay, so any other questions, guys? 1 hour is gone. Good, huh? I think Thomas, we answered everything.
Sulis, I found your question. You put them in the comments of the lesson 4 of the basic training, and your sponsor answered all of them. So you can just go there in basic training, lesson 4, the service business model, and in the comments there, I see Dalton answered all of your questions.
Thomas and Lumen, could I have just a minute to say something before we wrap up here?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. So, this is the situation with Corsair and Amplivo, that for the first time in the history of network marketing, we've got a network marketing company, Amplivo, soon to be Corsair Connect, which has as a mother company a company that has industrial facilities and contracts with governments and does all the things that we've discussed here today. That's fantastic. And Tomlinson and Lumina hold these sessions so that you can get your questions out. And today was concentrating on oil and CSR and everything else, all the things that you've heard here. And they do a fantastic job for the whole community. Thank you so much, you two. At the same time, I just want to remind you you do not earn more money or help clean up the environment more by knowing everything that you know today. What it does do is give you confidence that when you build your business, it's based on a real company that really is doing something for the environment, for people, for the planet, for you, for everyone in the network. And that should give you more confidence. I want to tell an anecdote here from the early days. Some of you have been here a bit longer know that Jean-Luc and I had a great deal of success with the telecommunications company, the first decade of this millennium, 2000, 2010, 2011 or so. And I remember in the early days, it was very easy to help people save money on their landline phones. Remember the days before mobile phones were everywhere? It was landline, and there were monopolies. And then there was deregulation, so other companies could come along. And all we had to do to get a customer was say, would you please do me a huge favor? Try out this company. You'll save money on your telephone bill. Let me know how you like it. If you don't, we'll switch you back immediately, and it doesn't cost you anything to switch. That's easy. Would you do me a favor? Try it out. Save money. There was a partner on my 4th or 5th level, and I knew from the very first moment that I met him, he was going to be an urchin. He wanted the facts, the figures, and he spent 3 weeks gathering everything and printing out the costs to telephone here, telephone there, finding out how our company could offer cheaper rates from British Telecom if you're in the UK, and Telecom France and Deutsche Telekom and all the different telecoms. How could they do it cheaper? 3 weeks. And I came to the presentation and the meeting every week. And I said to him, when are you going to get going? Yes, he's getting ready, he's getting ready. After 3 weeks, I got the phone call. He didn't even say, hello, Elliot. Yeah, I picked it up and he said, I'm here with a very important customer for me, and he's asking how often, he's asking how much is our rate to phone Japan? I thought, oh, God. I knew he'd gone there with all his papers, all his information, all his statistics. I said to him, have you asked him how often he phones to Japan? No. I said, ask him. Look at him, how he turned around and said, how often do you phone Japan? And the guy said, never. I just wanted to know if you knew the answer. So what happened? He turned up, yeah, with all the information, and he unloaded all the information on the guy, and that prompted him to do it. Listen, all the information that you have here today is your foundation, your sense of security, your knowing that you're in the right place at the right time, that you can be successful here, and that you will be successful here if you plug in to the system which we've put in place, which Thomas and Lumina are practicing with so much dedication. You will be. But choose what to say to whom. And our easy thing is, after you've found out if someone's interested in the environment or not, if I could show you how you can help clean up the planet and earn good money at the same time, all from the comfort of your own home, would you be open to hearing more information about it? Boom. That's what you say to people. Not unload everything you've done here today. Thank you for letting me share that with you. And thank you again, Thomas and Lumina, for the incredible job that you guys do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elliot, for this reminder. And I know I fell prey to that. We have a tendency when we know so much to want to spit it out. In French, we say it's to spread your science. But I think it's a natural tendency. So the more you're going to understand and have numbers and have everything, you gotta watch out. Because the new person, they don't necessarily need that. So like we say in the training, you always only give food when the person is hungry. One more question here that was there from Kenny. How much oil was recycled exactly? Well, Corsair will update their Corsair Group website, like they announced in the gala, because the number that you see there it hasn't been updated in years. So Juicy also said in the gala that in the future, what they love is to have monitoring system on all their factories so that we have a live number that keeps changing. This is the number of liters that we have produced. that will be the case when all the technology will be put in place. For now, we're still a young, growing company, and we do with what we are being given. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And just one last word about what you say to spread your science. Remember, we need to answer 3 questions. Is it easy? Can I do it? Is the product good? And what do I earn? Whatever information that you're sharing at first with your prospect or new customer just needs to answer those 3 questions, okay? Unless they are asking questions, okay? So you needed to feed yourself, you need to understand the mechanics. Some will need as you, some won't need. You see, not everybody is on the Q&A, even though they have the space for. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Thomas, for your short answers and ways to put all of this together in a way that everyone can understand. Thank you, Elliot, for taking part of that call. Thanks to everyone for being here as well.
Yes, and thank you for your longer answers that both complement the story and how we got there, and your expertise also on the industrial field. So thank you, guys. And let's do it. This is it, guys. This is the end of the year. This is the moment.